Lego, comic books, slippers, Lego, butter, Lego, Lego. Hi, PurpleElla here and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that's been requested by one of my followers. So today I'm going to talk to you about autism and shopping. First of all, let me talk about what might be difficult for people on the autistic spectrum who need to do some shopping. So one of the first things that I find difficult about shopping is dealing with other people. So basically, especially around peak times of the year, so your Christmas shopping or your shopping at the weekends or hours when there are more people, there are often a lot of people in shopping places, and I might have to stand in a queue surrounded by people, or I might, let's say I want to look at something. Now this is often really tricky for me. I'm clothes shopping and I want to look at something and there's somebody ahead of me already looking at it, and I am a bit one-track mind, so I want to look at this thing. I don't want to look at other stuff. I don't want to browse while I wait for that person to finish. I kind of can't think of anything other than I want to look at that thing and I can't get to it, and what do I do now? Now if you're lucky, you've got a considerate person that has a look and then moves. If you're unlucky, there's someone who is completely unaware that anyone else exists and is just not going to be moving, and you're and because of the fact that people with autism can be a little bit unable to change their plans, if your plan was to look at this thing, it can then be really difficult to sidetrack and go and look at something else. So that whole kind of bustling to look at something thing, standing in queues, and then of course dealing with shop assistants and dealing with the kind of whole social side of shopping. So if I need to ask for help, so it's like a bit of a double-edged sword. If I need to ask for help, firstly, I have a little bit of difficulty sometimes telling who's actually working in the shop, and I have been known to just ask people who don't even work there. And then secondly, often they might not even be around, and then I can get into a little bit of a tiz because I need to ask for help and I don't know who to ask. And then the other side of that sword is I don't need any help and I keep being approached by shop assistants asking me if I need any help. And to be honest, I hate that. Really hate it. I know that they've been told by their bosses that they need to do that. I know it's just part of the experience, but if I need help, I will ask for help, and please leave me alone the rest of the time. But, you know, that is part of the shopping experience. And then obviously there's the paying for the shopping, which I can be a little bit either one way or the other. Either I go well too far with, I should be friendly to this person in the shop because they're at work and it would be nice for them to deal with someone who's pleasant and friendly, and I start massively oversharing, and before I know it, I've told this shop assistant my entire history, what I'm doing with my day and my plans for the future. I go too far. Shop assistant's a bit like, yeah, can we just, get on now? Or if I'm not in a talky mood, I'm just completely not there at all, and they might try and make polite conversation and I'll just be like, what? Oh, you're talking to me? Oh right, yeah. So it's one way or the other, and I just really haven't found that balanced middle ground of being friendly and courteous but without too much or too little. So that's a bit of a challenge too. So dealing with people in shops is difficult. And then there's the environment, the shopping environment. Shopping environments were not created with autistic people in mind, I can tell you that now. They very often are playing music, and it is very often too loud. And I am trying to think about making a choice, which is not easy for me, and I can't do that when I'm being distracted by loud music. And then also, quite often shops have like horrible lighting, really unpleasant lighting. I guess they're trying to make sure you can see everything. I don't know, but it's really unpleasant. And even sometimes I can hear a buzz from a shop light as well, and that can be quite distracting. And then at the same time as that, shops, I like environments that are not overcrowded. I like space, I like light, I like clean walls. Shops are the opposite of that. There is stuff everywhere, unless you're in like a super expensive shop, which is not where I'm going to be shopping. So generally, stuff everywhere, and there's going to be posters and advertisements. If you're extra unlucky, there's going to be like a screen streaming something. You know, some of the shops go really crazy and there's stuff everywhere. Loud music, buzzing lights. It's just a sensory overload, and that is not fun for me and really puts me off going into shops because I really hate it. So I'm dealing with this sensory overload, which does not put me in a position to be able to concentrate on making choices. Horrible. What else is difficult about shops? Oh, choices, things. Now this is something that I'm hoping that other autistic people can identify with, rather than it just being, no, that's just you weirdo. I don't have a emotional difference in the way that I respond to a thing compared to the way that I respond to a person. So to me, I can get as equally attached. I'm really sorry, the lighting's doing weird things. I hope you can cope with that. I can get equally attached to a pair of shoes as I can to a close friend. Now I'm really hoping that I'm not offending my close friends by saying this. I love you. But to me, that emotional attachment and that kind of importance of its place in my life is equal with people as it is with objects. So that means that when I'm making a choice, I feel that if I'm making a choice, then everything I don't choose I feel kind of sad for the things I don't choose. Okay, now I feel really crazy. I do feel a little bit sad for the things that I don't choose. And then also there's this pressure of, let's say I'm buying a new pair of shoes, because I started talking about shoes. I basically buy a pair of boots, a pair of trainers and a pair of sandals, and that's it, job done. That's what I need on the shoe front. So if I buy a new pair of trainers or a new pair of boots, I'm probably going to keep that for at least 2, maybe even 3 or 4 years, and that's what I'm going to wear all through the winter. Did I say trainers? Yeah, anyway, all through whatever season for that shoe. So it's really important that I get it right. And there are so many different choices. How do I know which particular pair of this thing I'm gonna not miss what I might have had? I'm gonna be just like, yeah, this is the thing that I want for the next 2 years and I'm gonna love it. And it's really got to be that level of excitement over it. Otherwise I can't have it, because I need to feel 100% this is the right one of this thing for me. I am not going to regret it. I'm going to be happy with it for a few years, and that's it, job done. And that's kind of the level of pressure that I am applying to every choice that I am making in a shop. Firstly, not to offend the things that I don't choose, because, you know, and secondly, to make sure that the choice that I've made I'm going to be satisfied with, because I'm not going to be replacing it. This will be the choice that I have made and it's final. So that's quite a lot of pressure. So there's the environment, there's the dealing with people, and then there's the actual act of shopping, and also remembering what I started shopping for in the first place. Anyone else have problems with this? I might be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to buy these 3 things. I'll definitely remember, it's only 3 things. I'll get to the shops, I'll buy the first thing, and I'll be like, I have no idea what else I came to these shops for. What did I come here for? So I need to make sure I've got a list. End of. So yeah, those things are all really difficult. So as promised, let me talk about how I actually manage this. Firstly, I avoid shopping. I shop avoid. I only buy things if I really, really have to. I am not someone who loves shopping. I am not someone who's overly attached to getting things. Unless something is worn out. Like, put it this way, I recently, about 6 months ago, I got a new phone, and the phone that I'd had prior to that, I'd had for about 4.5 years, and it no longer worked properly. It didn't necessarily always send or receive text, and it didn't necessarily always do what I needed it to do, but even so, I didn't want to replace it. So my thing has to be completely done before I want to replace it, which I think is actually quite a good attitude, because it's less wasteful and it's better for the environment. So first of all, I shop avoid. But then when I get to the point where I absolutely have to shop, it's one of my kids' birthdays, it's Christmas, I need some pants, whatever. I don't know why did I go to pants? Anyway, you know me by now. So, yeah, so first of all, if I can possibly buy it online, this is my #1 most brilliant tip. Don't go. in the first place. In the comfort of your own home, go online, find the thing. And the great thing about buying something online is that you can check multiple places to make sure that you're getting the right price for it. You can even use one of these like price compare sites, which are really handy. And you can easily just buy it in your own home and not deal with any of the problem areas that I've previously mentioned. But let's say shoes. I wouldn't buy shoes online because I'm really funny, and clothes I'll often prefer to buy in a shop because I'm really funny with my sensory needs about how it fits, how it feels, and it can be more straightforward to just go to a shop and try it on rather than going to the trouble of ordering online, having to try it on and having to send things back, because for some reason I have this massive block about sending things back and that really stresses me out. So let's say I am actually going to go to a shop. Firstly, keep it simple. Don't try and shop for loads of things at once. Keep it short, keep it simple. 1 hour, 2 hours maximum at the shopping environment. Break it down. It'd be better to go 5 times than to go once and spend a whole day, in my opinion. So I go for very specific, I never just browse, I go for very specific things. I have a list, I know what I want, I might even have planned which shops I'm going to visit ahead of time. Secondly, never be tired, hungry, overwhelmed. If you're feeling meltdowny, if you're feeling hungry, just put it off. Whatever it is, I'm sure it can wait. Put it off, do it another day. So go to the shops in the best possible place you can be for success, with a very specific list and an idea of which shops you're going to visit. That is my overwhelming first most important advice for shopping. Now, there are other things that you can do to make the shopping a little bit easier. You could take a sensory kit, a sensory saviour kit, what am I going to call it? Because I'm going to make a video about this in a couple of weeks, actually, my like on-the-go sensory kit. So, you know, it'd be good to have a good name for it. Any ideas? Do leave me a comment below, but have your sensory kit, which could include things like ear defenders or earplugs, whichever you prefer, to reduce the noise. Sunglasses, and some people have special glasses with different kind of filters, whatever glasses you use to deal with light sensitivity. Fiddle toys, so that if you're anxiously waiting in a queue, you've got something in your hand, bit of blue tack, bit of fiddle toy, just to subtly stim while you're dealing with this situation. I like to always have a packet of Tic Tacs. I don't know why, but putting something in my mouth and having something to focus on there can kind of distract me from whatever it is that's stressing me out. Make sure that you are dressed in comfortable clothing. There is nothing worse than shopping and being uncomfortable, especially if you're going to go and try things on. If you're going to go and try things on, wear optimal clothes for that. Wear clothes that are easy to get on and off so that you can easily try things on. Definitely. I have been in so many situations where I've been in a hot, sweaty changing room trying things on and ended up having a meltdown. It's just unbelievable how many times that has happened to me. So make sure you are set for dealing with changing rooms and shopping stuff. So sensory kit, planning ahead, knowing what you want, make sure you're in the optimal position to do so. These are all the things that I would recommend that you do ahead and during your shopping trip to make it the most successful and least stressful trip that you can possibly have. And if you possibly can, shop online. Just don't do it. So I don't know whether this was helpful. I kind of have a little bit of a feeling today like I just rambled on for 15 minutes or so, but if it was, do let me know and do share my video because that's really useful. And as always, please subscribe. I'm like really, between last week's video and this week's video, I got like 10 subscribers. So whoever you are, thank you so much, because I literally just do get really excited and like, yay, people are subscribing. There's no point in me doing in what I'm, there is a point in me doing what I'm doing, hurrah. It's good. So please, even though I look like a nutter and I'm overly enthusiastically asking you to do so, please do subscribe. And yeah, because I upload every Thursday, there or thereabouts, a new video, and I'd love you to be here to watch the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye!